he may be busy stateside, but Rishi Sunak has still managed to take a swing at Keir Starmer over his party's stance on energy. The Prime Minister's accused the Labour leader of letting eco-zealots write its energy policy and says he's playing right into the hands of Vladimir Putin by doing so. Sunak says Labour's proposed ban on North Sea oil and gas licences would mean that Britain was more reliant on imports from countries such as, well, Russia. It follows news that Labour received £1.5 million in donations from Dale Vince, one of the biggest backers of Just Stop Oil, who was out on a march with the group today. He spoke to talkTV last night about why the government shouldn't be drilling in the North Sea.
We can get to 100% green electricity in 10 years with no public money if the government just enabled that. But instead we have a government pursuing old-fashioned policies claiming that if we drill in the North Sea we can help bring energy bills down, when that's completely counterfactual. We saw that from the energy crisis last winter, and of course it flies in the teeth of the climate crisis.
Well, the Tories are now demanding that Labour pay the money back, saying it legitimises Just Stop Oil's tactics. One of the things that comes out of the Just Stop Oil thing, because central to all of this has been about the right to protest, where you can protest, how you can protest. And we've debated endlessly about, gluing your genitals to the M25 and walking slowly and all this other old nonsense that these characters do. And it only really hit me the other day. I suddenly thought to myself, hang on a sec. I get the fact you've got the right to protest, even if I had to really swallow hard at the idea that you're allowed to stop the traffic. Are you allowed to do it every day? And that's the point, isn't it? Surely there's a... Well, you go, OK, lads, you've got your message, that's fine.
Well, they're calling it an indefinite protest
You can't have an indefinite protest.
Apparently they're going to just carry on doing it until they all die.
This is lunacy. So, which is where they lose the public credibility, which is why you see cars zooming past and people jumping out of cars and grabbing those, those what are they made of? Those crepe paper, for goodness sake.
Well, they're not,
Put some investment in your posters.
Well, they can't use oil, obviously.
You can't make anything to do with plastic.
They're probably plastic. But the thing is that now, the strange thing that now has occurred is there's been a sort of a shift in the kind of the opponent and the defender.
Correct.
Because it now seems to me that the people who are attacking Just Stop Oil are like the resistance. I feel like we're the resistance. People in cars are going, you're stopping everything going on. You're the people who are creating this problem. You're creating criminality. You're clogging up the courts. It's a waste of time. And the ordinary people of the country are actually revolting against them. And it's like they're the establishment because the establishment's allowing them to do it.
But Just Stop Oil...
Do you know who's actually going to do something about it? What Just Stop Oil have been, all these Just Stop Oil protests?
I don't know. Who's going to do something about it?
Starmer, when he gets into power, because he's literally said...
He's going to give them all jobs.
It's not that... No. It's not that he's capitulated to them. It is a sensible plan to... We're not going to cancel all fossil fuels, but not to sign new oil and gas licences in the North Sea. So when Starmer
it's amazing what £1.5 million will do, isn't it?
No, but you know what? I think
I
like Dale Vince, and I think he's a really good interviewee as well. He's been doing the circuit for a few days now because he gave some money to Just Stop Oil. He doesn't agree with all of their methods
he bankrolls them.
No, he doesn't agree with their methods of protest, by the way.
No, he does.
Not all of them.
I discovered Dale Vince, and Ian knows him very well.
Yeah. Well,
I've been putting him on my show for ages, and I like him very much, but I disagree with everything he says.
Correct.
Well, I love that he was outed by the Daily Mail as being this big donor of, Just Stop Oil, blah, blah. So he ended up giving them more money.
But here's the thing. Sorry, JJ, what I'm going to say is far more important than what you're going to say. I just want you to add into that when Keir Starmer says we're going to ban this, you wait. I bet he doesn't do it on day one.
No.
He'll go,
He'll flip-flop on it.
At some point in the future, we're going to ban. So you'll wait to his second term in office, and right at the very end, he might sign something.
Well, even the GMB union have said that Starmer's wrong. And that the policy is wrong.
But that's GMB union.
They're supposed to be in support. But they're supposed to be in support of Labour policy. And if he's going against unions to make Labour policy, then clearly he's losing the base that he's supposed to have.
Into Putin's hands. That's the question we're supposed to be discussing here, not Just Stop Oil.
Sure. Well, probably to a degree he is, because this idea that you can just say these things and stop using oil, and also the idea that there's no one seriously on the planet, even the world of science, when you drill down, no pun, don't fully agree with the idea that, so suddenly oil is like the greatest enemy ever. It's the thing that's innovated, mobilised, created more social mobility, taken people out of poverty than anything before. And in half an hour, we're dying from it.
We need to move forward.
Yeah,
in renewable energy.
You know what you need to run electric cars on?
Every moment
oil.
from now onwards, we're going to kill everyone.
Oh,
And
I also
You can't run an
think,
electric car if you haven't got any oil.
and
It's
I
got
was,
moving parts.
But I was also
Correct.
going to say that the problem is that we also do have to have a proper, sensible look at electric cars and about batteries and about what's happening with that as well. Because the problem is we do seem to do that thing where we all leap from the frying pan and we go, yay! And then we discover we're in the fire with some things.
So with olive oil, the frying pan.
Yes, exactly. And just a little bit of sautéing.
It's got olive oil.
Don't use that spray stuff, because that's
It's
really
rubbish,
bad for
isn't
you.
it?
It's carcinogenic.
Yeah,
Well, let's get back on track. Speaking of Just Stop Oil, they
Right.
are certainly not stopping their disruptive antics. But Londoners are continuing to fight back. Hurrah! Today, the activists are slow marching through Hammersmith, Chelsea, and Westminster, holding signs saying, "We won't die quietly." I wish you would. And new oil equals murder. Things got pretty heated. A scuffle broke out as a group of scaffolders tried to forcibly remove protesters from the road. And a woman desperate to get to hospital managed to swerve activists as they implored her to drive slowly.
So she has to get to the hospital.
Just come on, slowly, just slowly.
Shut up. Eventually, the police took action, arresting protesters who refused to leave the road. Not a minute too soon. I'm sounding like a parrot, because every time we talk about Just Stop Oil, I say the same thing. I said it, I called it out. The police have got to move those protesters on because the public have had enough, and we're going to keep on fighting. It used to be a case of I used to come in here and say, try that down in Dalston, mate, try that down in Tottenham. Now, actually, try it anywhere in the UK.
Yeah.
People are going to keep on fighting. We're
It's
going to see it
getting
happening
dangerous
more and more.
now. I mean, there was a case a couple of days ago of somebody who went round them really fast. I mean, like really quick, and literally just missed another pedestrian who was trying to do something else. Something bad is going to happen, and then they'll be sorry, and then we'll have to stop all of it.
I do wonder why they surely there must be a different way of doing this. And I know what you're going to say, Nicola, is the fact that obviously by these protests we are talking yet again about Just Stop Oil.
It's our fault. If we stopped talking about it, they wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
No, but we're not talking about what...
I think they would, actually, because I think that's now... I mean, these are all misfits,
they've
right?
moved to
You
different
take one look at
tactics.
these bozos, they're all misfits. They don't work. They're either pensioners
We're
or
all
the bloody
misfits.
students.
I thought they
The
were
girl,
doctors
Phoebe,
yesterday,
who keeps getting arrested, who went to a £41,000 a year school.
Doesn't matter
Dad's an
what school you
extinction.
went to.
It does, actually. They've got nothing better to do. They haven't got proper jobs.
expose.
They're not actually serious individuals. They're all misfits, and they should all be just put on an island somewhere.
They are. I can't think any right-minded, intelligent person would look at them and think these people are okay. There's something.
Nicola Thorpe.
There's something.
He did say right-minded.
I don't believe Nicola really believes. I mean, this is a kind of a death cult. They are kind of addicted.
There's an old
to the
guy
idea.
there holding
You
a
see
sign
them-
saying, "We will not die quietly."
Yeah.
Well, you
There's
will.
people-
On your own.
Men
I'm
crying their
dying.
eyes out. Do you remember the guy that was like again? He was gluing bits and pieces of himself to a police car a while back, and he pulled out a photograph and goes, "I'm doing it for my kids." And I thought his children have got to see that forevermore.
Yeah.
How embarrassing! Your absolute half-witted old man standing there thinking that we're all going to die. I mean, even by the judgment of this government and other governments, if we really were about to die, just like the pandemic, would be closed down, shut down, they'd be doing something about it.